the edge of the forest, I saw a traveler. In the shadows of the dark trees and the tender wind, hesitating. After endless reflection, the traveler follows the path, still seemingly afraid of the forest. But soon, the beauty of the forest is revealed before the traveler's eyes. Trees and flowers, small animals, the traveler gradually began to feel at home in the forest. Home. A forest that exists deep in your heart. As you stand, amidst fear and expectations directed at the motherland, let us walk this path together.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, all participants, our distinguished guests. Welcome to the 2022 Gathering for Overseas Korean Adoptees. Firstly, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jang Seon-young. I'm an announcer and your MC for this special occasion. It is my great honor to be your MC for this special event. 반갑습니다. Thank you very much. Actually, it's chilly outside, so now we are having a real autumn in Korea, so it is a great honor to be with you in this beautiful season. For the past 20 years, the Overseas Koreans Foundation has played a role of a bridge between Korean communities around the world and Korea. Forming a deeper bond with the motherland, the Overseas Koreans Foundation successfully connects the 52 million Koreans with the 7.3 million overseas Korean. Furthermore, the Overseas Korean Foundation makes an effort to establish a Korean community with a global citizen. We've gathered today to share our stories, empathize, and connect with overseas adoptees from all over the world living as overseas Koreans. This event aims to serve as a good starting point for your journey to research the motherland and your root. And also, we hope this event provides an opportunity for Korean adoptees to understand and get connected to the motherland. Actually, this event was held online hybrid for 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But this year, we are more than excited to have you here with more Korean adopters. 200 Korean families and guests from 15 different countries are joining us today. Thank you very much for your participation and welcome. This year's event, including the opening ceremony and talk concerts info session, is held here, this room in Halla Hall. In addition, programs such as Korean sports and K-tour and Korean history exploration, where you can experience K-culture, will be available throughout Seoul from today until the end. The heart-pounding meeting with Korean adoptees around the world. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin the opening ceremony of the 2022 Gathering for Overseas Korean Adoptees.
동호야, 마. 우리 소리하고 놀까?
소리?
혼자라 슬퍼하진 않아. 돌아가신 엄마 말하길. 그저 살다 보면 사라진다. 그 말 무슨 뜻인진 몰라도 기분이 좋아지는 주문 같아. 너도 해봐. 눈을 감고 중얼거려.
혼자라 슬퍼하진 않아. 돌아가신 엄마 말하길. 그저 살다 보면 사라진다. 그 말 무슨 뜻인진 몰라도 기분이 좋아지는 주문 같아. 너도 해봐. 눈을 감고 중얼거려. 그저 살다 보면 사라진다. 그저 살다 보면 사라진다. 눈을 감고 바람을 느껴봐. 엄마가 쓰다듬던 손길이야. 멀리 보고 소리를 질러봐. 아픈 내 마음 멀리 날아가네. 소리는 함께 놀던 우리. 돌아가신 엄마 소리는 너도 해봐. 눈을 감고 소리 질러. 그저 살다 보면 사라진다. 그저 살다 보면 사라진다. 눈을 감고 바람을 느껴봐. 엄마가 쓰다듬던 손길이야. 멀리 보고 소리를 질러봐. 아픈 내 마음 멀리 날아가네. 안녕하세요. 여러분 반갑습니다.
Nice to
저는
meet you
뮤지컬
all.
배우
My name is Cha Ji-yeon and I'm a musical actress. It's a great pleasure to meet all of you.
거국에 오신 여러분 진심으로
I would like to welcome you to Korea.
이 자리에서 이렇게 여러분 앞에서 노래 부를 수
And
있어서
it's a great honor to be able to perform in your presence.
큰 자리에
Thank you for having me to this meaningful event.
진심으로 감사드리고요.
Once again, I would like to send my gratitude, and I hope you would be in good health and peace during the 6-day visit. The song that I just sang is from the musical 서편제, so this is a Korean piece, and it also covers Korean traditional music 판소리. And it's one of the representative numbers, 살다 보면, which means in life. And the next song that I would like to sing is Defying Gravity from Wicked.
뭔가가 달라졌어 내 안에 무언가 이젠 의미 없어 남들이 정한 규칙들 난 깨어나 버렸어 돌아가긴 늦었어 내 직감을 따를래 눈을 꼭 감고 날아올라 중력을 벗어나 하늘 높이 날개를 펼 거야 날 막을 순 없어 한계는 무너졌어 내 길을 갈 거야 시도하기 전엔 그 누구도 알 수 없어 너무나 오랫동안 두려워한 것 같아 받아본 적도 없는 사랑이를까봐 이제는 나 중력을 벗어나 날아올라 날개를 펼칠 거야 날 막을 순 없어 Unlimited 상상해봐 Unlimited 우리들은 환상적인 팀이 될 거야 클린다 함께 꿈을 꾸고 함께 이뤄내고 최고가 될 수 있어 너와 내가 중력을 벗어나 저 끝없는 하늘을 간다면 우릴 막을 순 없어 나를 찾고 싶다면 서쪽 하늘을 봐 누군가 얘기했어 한 번쯤 날개를 펴라고 홀로 날고 있지만 나는 자유로워 이제는 너무 멀리 와버린 거야 전해줘야 모든 걸 걸쳐내고 저 끝없는 세상을 본다고 나는 꼭 돌아온다고 이곳에 그 누구도 어떤 마법사도 나를 끌어내릴 순 없어
Ladies and gentlemen, please give another big hand to the Korean musical actress Cha Ji-yeon. Wow. Very powerful morning. Thank you very much for your wonderful performance. I think that performance was very well suited for this special occasion. Thank you very much. And with this powerful performance, now we have a welcome speech. So I would like to invite President Kim Sung-gun to the podium of Overseas Koreans Foundation. President Kim Sung-gun has been sparing no expense in supporting 200,000 overseas adoptees and 7.3 million overseas Koreans. So, ladies and gentlemen, could you please come up to the stage and please welcome President with a big hand.
반갑습니다.
Nice to meet you all.
잘 주무셨나요?
Hope you had a restful night.
방금 소개받은 재동포 재단
I am Sung-gun Kim, as introduced, the president of OKF.
2022년 차세대 해외
I sincerely welcome all
방문에
overseas Korean
참여해
adoptees
주신
and family members who came from afar to take part in the 2022 OKF gathering for overseas Korean adoptees.
올해는
This year's gathering is all the more special since many of you are visiting Korea for the first time.
그리고 동시에 오늘
And
이
at the
자리를
same time,
정리해 주시기 위해 참석해 주신
There are many distinguished
외교부를
guests
대표해서
who came to bless this event with their present from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Thank you for your participation. OKA, short for Overseas Koreans Foundation, supports overseas Koreans around the world to root down in your respective communities and become model citizens, and also to promote exchange with your birthland so that you can flourish as beautiful global citizens. We at OKF host many different programs, but among them all, this gathering is the most significant. Everyone comes into this world through parents. Some grow by the help of their birth parents, and some are fostered with the care of others. Regardless of the biological or non-biological ties, all parents are outstanding for caring for their children with love and affection. I have heard stories of the difficulties you might have went through as adoptees, having born in Korea but living in countries with people who look different and going through identity crises. I can only imagine that you might have felt somewhat betrayed by your birth parents or the Korean government. On the other hand, growing up, you might have wondered who your birth parents are and what Korea is like. I'm not proud to admit, but Korean families traditionally tended to avoid domestic adoption as a result of deep-seated traditional Jew-sanguineness, thus increasing overseas adoption compared to other countries. In addition, strong social discrimination towards single mothers and their children was another reason. To this end, I sincerely applaud all adoptive parents and your respective countries of residence Thank you once again for your mature attitude towards the value of life and the precious choice you made despite physical differences. So please allow me to make 3 deep bows. I have never done this in other gatherings, but I would like to, so please allow me to. Deep bows in Korean culture symbolize gratitude and regret.
번째 절은
The first bow
이런 여러 어려움을 극복하고
is in
이렇게 잘
gratitude of
찾아주신
all overseas Koreans adoptees who are with us today, who grew up to be such outstanding people.
그리고 두 번째 절은
And the second bow is for adoptive parents
우리 양부모님과
and your countries
또 여러분의 현재 나라에 대한 감사의 절.
who have done such a great job in raising you.
그리고 마지막 세 번째 절은
And the last bow
어떤 이유에서건
is in regret. On behalf of the birth parents and the Korean government
우리의 부모님과
for not being able to hold up their end, regardless of why.
저희들을 이해하고
Please
주시기 바랍니다.
accept our apology.
박수를 받아야 될 분들은 제가 아니고 여러분.
I shouldn't be applauded, but you should.
기독교의 세계관에 의하면
If I'm to draw an analogy from the Christian worldview,
부모 자식 간의
all
관계도
life and every parent-child relationship is allowed by God.
따라서 여러분의 양부모와의
Therefore, your
만남,
relationship with your
이 역시
adoptive parents is in God's providence.
하나님은 결코
God does not
이유
work for
없는
no
일을 하시지
reason.
않기 때문입니다. 피부 색깔이 인간
If during this
사이에
visit
만들기도 하지만
you're able to find that purpose,
차별을 극복하고 인류애를
this would be a
구현하는
great
계기를 만들어야
gift.
합니다.
So how you look on the outside may be cause for discrimination, but at the same time presents opportunities to overcome differences and manifest love for mankind. The very love and affection shown by your adoptive parents are the most beautiful of all.
깊은 의미를 찾을 수 있다면
Please enjoy and make the most of this visit
하는 것입니다.
and this stay.
그리고 하나 기대가 있다면
And one expectation of mine is
여러분의 생부모인 나라에
that
우리 코리아와
you
그리고
would be able to form better relations between Korea and the countries that you reside in. So I hope you would be able to act as cultural ambassadors, bridging between your birthland and residing countries.
공공외교에 가장
As part of public diplomacy.
훌륭한 역할을 해주실 수 있는 분들이
So I believe you are at the forefront.
아무튼 모처럼 먼 길 한국에 오셨으니
Thank you very much for coming from afar to visit Korea. I hope you would be able to enjoy and make the most of the beautiful Korean weather while your stay. Korea means
100년 전 세워졌던
highly
나라의
beautiful in etymology,
라는 뜻입니다.
and it comes from the country, old country Korea, from 1,100 years ago.
이 모든 아름다움을 마음껏 즐기고
I hope you would be able to make the most of the beauty and soak it in. Thank you very much.
Please give another big applause once again. Thank you very much, President Kim, for your meaningful words. It is with great pleasure that we welcome you to this meaningful event. Thank you once again. As I mentioned, I hope you enjoyed this event and Korean culture and this beautiful season. Thank you. And now it's time for congratulatory speech. So I would like to invite Deputy Minister for Overseas Koreans and Consular Affairs, Kim Wan-jung from Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a big hand.
예, 한인 입양인과 가족 여러분,
Dear overseas Korean adoptees and their families,
박진 애교부 장관과 대한민국 국민을 대표해서
On behalf of
진심으로
Mr. Park
환영합니다.
Jin, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Korea, and the Korean government, I would like to welcome you to Korea.
그리고 이 자리를 빌어서 코로나19 팬데믹이
I'd like to also take this opportunity
여러분을 이 자리에
to thank those who worked tirelessly to make this event possible despite the ongoing pandemic. And thank you, President Kim Sung-gon, for your heartfelt message, and the members of the OKF so much for your hard work. As a diplomat and as a consul general, I've been involved in overseas Korean adoptees affairs, and I've come across many heartfelt stories. So many years ago, when I was serving as Consul General at Los Angeles, I invited Korean adoptees and families from all over the states to the Korean Consulate General every year. So we held this annual event for the Korean adoptees and their parents to share their life stories and challenges in order to learn from each other. And the story of a particular adoptee still remains with me. He said, during my adolescence, when I had an identity crisis, I never really thought that much about my identity as a Korean. The fact that my biological parents are Korean meant nothing to me, but it's different now. After meeting my twin brother in Korea many years ago, my thoughts changed completely. I found out that my brother used to be very sick, and because my biological parents were not financially well off, they put me, who was healthy, up for adoption. And after finding that out, I became determined to live life not just for the sake of living, but to live a good life through which I can set an example for others. Your motherland, Korea, shares the same determination. Korea strives to be not just one of those 200 plus countries in the world, but to play a central role in shaping and sharing universal values such as freedom and human rights. So, in many ways, Korea is indeed becoming a global leader, and you can definitely feel proud that you are part of that country. So we have 7.5 million Korean people who are living overseas, and the Consul General, which I used to work for, always strives to promote the rights of these 7.5 million Korean people overseas, and we are always advocating your happiness and your life worthy of human dignity. And going forward, we will continue to strive to become a leading country in the world. I hope that through this visit, you will be able to see and feel Korea and its culture, and that it will allow you to develop a deeper interest in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deputy Minister, for your words. It is our distinct pleasure to have you here with us today. Thank you very much. And now we have a very special video message from leaders of each local overseas adoptee organization to celebrate and brighten this event. So, ladies and gentlemen, now let's all have a look.
Hi, this is Tommy Gensel, President of the International Korean Adoptee Associations, or ICA. I want to extend a congratulations to OKF and well wishes to all the adoptees and family members that will be traveling back to Korea soon. It's encouraging to see Korea support adoptees' rights to gain access to the country that we were born in. And I'm hopeful that Korea will increase their collaboration with and support of adoptee-led organizations and initiatives.
Hello, my name is Chris Dietrich, and I'm the president of KUTCH, Korean Adoptees of Chicago. To OKF, thank you for giving the space for adoptees to connect and elevate our voices. To my fellow adoptees, please enjoy your time in Korea, and if you're ever in Chicago, don't hesitate to reach out. Congratulations.
안녕하세요. My name is Céline Ristor. I'm the president of Racine Coréenne, the French Association of Korean Adoptees. I would like to express my sincere congratulations for the event organized by the Overseas Korean Foundation, the main organization that supports our association and our activities. Each adoptee has a different experience of adoption, a different feeling and relationship with their adoptive parents, their biological parents, and with Korea. After 2 years of pandemic, during which many adoptees engaged a constructive introspection and nourished the project to discover their native country, they can finally discover Korea. I thank OKF for allowing adoptees to make this journey. And on behalf of Racine Coréenne, I would like to express my warmest gratitude. To the adoptees, my fellows, I wish you all a wonderful journey full of surprises and discoveries, emotion, joy, and happiness. 감사합니다.
Hello, Seoul. This is Stockholm calling. On behalf of AKF, I would like to congratulate OKF on the very special occasion that is the 2022 gathering for more than 150 Korean adoptees from all around the world. Although I'm not personally taking part in the gathering, I happen to know that you, the participants, will be doing the full Korean experience. And for that, I would like to congratulate each and every one of you. Please enjoy this unique possibility to immerse yourselves in the very best that Korea has to offer in culture, history, and gastronomy. And to the Swedish participants, I would just like to add, njut, lär och kom hem fulla av intryck och upplevelser. Jag ser fram emot att höra allt om era äventyr. Thank you and have the time of your lives.
Hello everybody, my name is Thomas de Bolle. I'm the president of the Belgium Adoptees from Korea, also known as BAK.
I'm Frederik van der Plassen, the current vice president and the new president of BAC.
We are happy that you all joined the gathering organized by the OKF after the dark COVID period.
We wish you all a very wonderful experience and a great time and a lot of fun.
Hopefully we can see you next time in real life.
Hello, we are the board members of the Korean Adoptees in Germany.
4 of us already participated last year in your great offer, and I can imagine how fantastic this trip will be this year.
Thanks to everyone at OKF. You have done an amazing job. To all participants, have a splendid time in Korea, and to all our fellow German adoptees, gute Reise. Bis bald.
Please give another big round of applause. Thank you for your wonderful messages. 네, 고맙습니다. Merci à vous. Thank you very much. Next event, I hope to meet you in Korea in person soon. Thank you. And now I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our distinguished guests who are joining us today. So when I introduce our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please stand up and please welcome them with a big hand. Firstly, we have Deputy Minister for Overseas Koreans and Consular Affairs from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Deputy Minister Kim Wan-jung. Let's welcome him. Thank you very much. And now we have Secretary General Lee Dong-hun from Global Overseas Adoptees Link. Please welcome him. Thank you so much. And now President Kim Do-hyun from Korut. Welcome. Thank you very much. And now we have Director Ko Hae-sun from Kwonbon. Please welcome her. Thank you. And now we have Miss Yoon Young-sil from Korean American Women's Associations of the USA. Please welcome her with a big hand. Thank you very much for your small hearts. And Vice President Jung Kwang-il from Overseas Koreans Foundation. Please welcome him. Thank you so much. Your presence makes this event very special. Thank you very much. We are more than honored to have you here today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the future generation of overseas adopters hosted by the Overseas Korean Foundation. This event, including the talk concerts, info session, Korean history exploration, and Korean culture exploration will be held until the end. So please enjoy this event until the end. No matter where we are connected with one heart. We hope you enjoy and make meaningful time together here in Korea. So now this brings us to the end of this event, and now we will resume the event with a talk concert. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Thank you very much, and see you soon. Thank you. Thank you very much for your wonderful performance. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give another big hand once again to Setua. Thank you very much for amazing. I think that the performance was well suited for this special occasion. Thank you once again. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, all the participants or distinguished guests. Welcome to the talk concert, My Korea and My Heritage. As you maybe well know, my name is Seonyoung Chang. I'm your MC for this special event. This talk concert aims to be a meaningful event for overseas adoptees from all over the world who were adopted when they were children. We hope to share our stories and make valuable connection with each other today. Also, I hope this talk concert will be a valuable time for many overseas Korean adoptees who have courage to find our root. I hope this talk concert will be a new starting point. So now, please allow me to introduce our special guests, the 4 special guests, overseas adoptees joining us today. So when I introduce our special guests to the podium, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome them with a big hand. Firstly, we have Miss Amanda Salon. Please welcome her. Thank you. Here. And next, Miss Sue Britton. Could you please come up to the stage? Okay. Please welcome her with a big hand. Thank you very much. Please come up to the stage and take a seat. And next, we have Mr. Frederick Avrak. Thank you very much. And could you please come up to the stage? Welcome. All right. And last but not least, so we have Miss Maylin Yan. Thank you. All right. Could you please come up to the stage? And please take your seats. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here with us today. Welcome and good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much. And actually, Amanda, who is in charge of Cyber Adoption Society, will be leading the talk concert with me as a sub-MC. She is my perfect partner today.
Yay. Very excited. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, since you are having a lot of activities in association, so can you tell us the motivation of it?
Oh, sure. Did you want us to introduce ourselves first? Oh, okay. So first, I think we'll just start with a quick introduction. I am Amanda, and I was adopted from Seoul in 1978, and I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I also have a sister who's also adopted, and she's a year younger. So she was adopted in 79, and growing up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I had a really great childhood, but I also was pretty much the only Asian American in my community besides my sister. And so pretty much later on in life is when I decided to start looking, into my identity. And that's kind of what brought me into the Korean adoptee community. But I guess a little bit like just general information about myself. I live in Atlanta, Georgia now, and I work for the University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
Oh, thank you. And now, Ms. Sue Britton, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Sue. I just turned 24. I live in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I work for the University Hospital. I was adopted in '98 from Seoul, and I was adopted into Michigan. I have 2 siblings who are biologically my parents, and that's a little bit about me.
Thank you very much. And now, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Fredrik Öberg, and I'm 41 years old. I was adopted to Sweden when I was 8 months, and I live just outside Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. I have 2 lovely daughters, Olivia, she is 15 years old, and she is with me here today.
Yes.
Which means so much to me.
Oh.
For so many reasons. And Ingrid, she is an infant. She is almost 1 year. And she is at home in Sweden with her mom and my fiancée, Ida. And I'm a judge in Attunda District Court. It's one of the biggest district courts in Sweden. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And now?
My name is Meilin Jøen. I'm a Norwegian. I was adopted to Norway when I was about 1 year old. I was born in Tego at Samsung Hospital. I have a son named Henrik Tehan. I gave him a Korean name.
Oh, Tehan.
I wanted to Koreanize him a little bit from an early age. And I have 2 adopted siblings, one brother from Korea and one from Vietnam. And I found my Korean dad some years ago and then I'm working for a Korean company for Devo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering in Oslo, the branch office in Norway.
Thank you very much. And now we have 4 special guests on the podium. And now there are people who visit Korea for the first time. Oh, yes. So I have to ask this question first. What is your first impression of Korea?
I've only been here it hasn't even been 24 hours yet. So my impression is it's still building. But everyone is super friendly. It's very clean here. Yeah, I like it so far.
Thank you. And what about the others? When you came to Korea, what was your first impression of Korea? Amanda?
So this is my second time here in Korea. My first time was in 2019 with the ICA conference, the ICA gathering. ICA is the International Korean Adoptee Association. And I came with my sister, and it was a great experience. I think returning after 40-something years with a large number of other Korean adoptees from all over the world really helped. And then I also met my birth family, and so it was a lot. It was a great experience. Pretty much what Sue said, the country is very clean, very friendly. So I am very excited that I had that opportunity. So I definitely encourage everyone to take advantage of the opportunity to come here if you can.
Yeah, so for Sue, I hope you have a good memory here in Korea. Thank you very much. And what was your first impression of Korea? How about me?
It was very good. Korea is very modern. In many ways, it's way more modern than Norway. It's very clean everywhere. It's a very beautiful country, like Soraksan and Jeju Island. The food is excellent. That's one of the highlights in Korea.
Yes, that's
and,
right.
And the people is super friendly, so helpful.
Okay, so how about Freddie?
I was here for the first time when I was 15 years old, and my grandfather brought me and my sister on an amazing trip.
We can see the picture.
There he is.
Yes, your grandfather.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
He brought me and my sister on an amazing trip. First, we went to the U.S., to Los Angeles and Hawaii, and after that we went here, and after that we went to Indonesia because my sister is adopted from Indonesia, and he wanted to give us the opportunity to discover and visit our home countries. So I am really grateful for that. And I didn't exactly have any fears before my first visit.
Yes.
But my reaction when I was here told me something else. It was like how should I say it? It was like I wasn't mentally prepared for coming here when I was 15 years old.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't just embrace the country it was, on the contrary, I felt some kind of distance to the country and the people here. And that made me sad and a little bit angry. But the second time I was here,
yes,
that was so different. It was in August 2018, together with Olivia. And everything was different.
Your daughter, Olivia?
Yeah, my daughter,
yes,
Olivia.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And for the first time, then I felt a connection and a gratitude for being here.
Oh, your daughter? Oh my God,
that's
so cute.
The other one is Ingrid, and the one to the right is Olivia.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yes, actually, as he mentioned, besides positive emotions, is there anyone who felt fear or hesitation? How about Amanda?
Oh, sure. Definitely. I think a lot of adoptees who do come to Korea for the first time. And first I want to say that OKF did a great job in picking a diverse group of panelists for this talk concert, but we just want to make sure that everyone understands there's like hundreds of thousands of us out there, and we are not speaking for everyone. We are just speaking for our own experiences, and there are many adoptees watching on the live stream who have not had the privilege to share their voice and have this type of platform, and we just want to acknowledge them as well, and we are with you. But yes, so I think a lot of adoptees who do come to Korea, including myself for the first time, do have some fear and anxiety because it's like the unknown, and you really don't know what to expect. So that's why I said I chose to come with the ICA conference, and I think at that time it was like 300 or 400 other adoptees, and that really helped. But I mean, that was my experience.
Yes, thank you. And how about Sue? I would like to know about your feeling now, because 24 hours ago, maybe you came to Korea? Yes?
Yeah, I definitely had some fears and anxieties about coming to Korea for the first time. I don't speak Korean, so I have been approached by people speaking to me in Korean. That feels very strange because in America that doesn't happen very often. And it feels strange because they see me as Korean and I am Korean, but I also don't feel Korean at the same time. So there's a lot of complicated emotions.
Yes, that's right. Oh, please give applause. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. So how many times have you been to Korea? How about Miley?
Several times.
Several times, okay.
I used to work in the airline industry in Qatar Airways. So, yeah, so I had some chances.
Okay, so is there any difference in the image you feel before and after coming to Korea?
Yes, definitely, because when I got to Korea, you know, when I was a child, I always had an interest of Korea. My parents, they took some pictures when they picked me and my brother up. So, you know, on those pictures, it was in the 70s, so Korea has developed so much. So when I came to Korea first, it was very shocking. It was so modern. It was like traveling to the future in many ways. And, you know, also Korea, I think you've heard about the miracle at Han River, right? So I think it's the country in the world that has gone fastest from an undeveloped country to a developed country. So the Koreans are very hardworking and very disciplined. And also, like, they had the Olympics in Seoul. I watched it with my parents. They woke me up in the middle of the night and said, hey, you have to watch the opening ceremony from Seoul. And me and my brother, we were sitting there in our pajamas watching it. And then afterwards, it was the World Cup. I still remember I watched all the Korean games.
Yes.
So they were so impressive. I think they finished fourth. They lost against Turkey, finally. But it was really, really nice. And also in Norway, Norway is a nation where sport is very popular. So athletes like Kim Jong-un and Heng Min-son, they are very popular. So, you know, this also makes us more proud of this Korean heritage.
Right.
So, yeah.
And next, how about Frederick? Is there any differences?
As I said before, at first I was pretty negative, and the second time it was much better. And it was first then I could feel any connection at all. So it was a big difference.
Okay, thank you for your stories. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are having the talk concert, My Korea and My Heritage. So now we prepared some special parts of this talk concert. Now we have some keywords in this session. So first, I would like to introduce our first keyword. 보여주시죠. It's about food. Yes, I think there will be a lot to talk about the food. So, who is it about food? Maybe Sue? Okay. Okay, we prepared it's you, right? Wow. Because now you wear the mask. Yeah, so we can see your face. Wow. Oh, sweet. And this is potato tteokbokki. Did you make it? Yourself? Oh, okay. Please use your microphone. Yes.
I started cooking Korean food at the beginning of the pandemic. I was very lonely at this time and trying to connect with my culture through food since I can't speak Korean. Luckily, it came very naturally to me and helped nourish my understanding of Korea and my body as well.
All right. And what's this? It's stew?
Gamjatang.
감자탕. Oh, okay. You're better than me making the Korean food. I want to taste it. Actually, we say the people who make the food well, like you, in Korean, we say 금손. It means gold head. So today you have one nickname, 금손, in Korea. Thank you very much. Actually, adoptees are adopted in young age, so I guess they don't have any images or a memory of Korean food. So how did you get interested through Korean food to Korea?
So like I said, it was the pandemic where I first started learning about Korea and the food. It really helped me connect and like I said, build a better understanding of what Korea is like and how the food has such a strong impact on the culture.
Okay. So actually food is one of big part of our life. So do you have any experience about the Korean food? Oh, maybe.
I have been attending cooking classes at the Korean Embassy in
really?
Oslo. And also I'm a member of the Norwegian Korean Friendship Association. So they also have some events with cooking classes. So I think, like I mentioned before, food is one of the highlights in Korea.
Yeah, that's right.
So I try also to cook Korean food for my family.
Yes.
So bulgogi and kimbap, japchae and kimchi. I think those are the dishes I make mostly of.
Yeah, so delicious. So how about Amanda?
Sure. So I love Korean food. I did not grow up eating Korean food. There weren't Korean restaurants in Tulsa, Oklahoma when I was growing up, but I live in Atlanta now, which is the third largest Korean American community in the United States. So there's lots of options. I eat it a lot. Unfortunately, I don't cook it. I'm allergic to the kitchen, but I do eat Korean food a lot. And it's something that's very it's like comfort food to me.
Yes.
And I feel like that's something I didn't have growing up. Growing up, I ate a lot of Italian food, a lot of dairy and breads, and I just feel like my body just welcomes Korean food, and that I feel better after I eat that.
Yes. Right, actually food is a bridge between memory and Korea and us, I think. So we say sometimes some food, soul food, because my soul food is kimchi jjigae. I really like kimchi jjigae in Korean food. So sometimes when I have a tough time, I eat kimchi jjigae, then I get the power. Yeah. So do you have any soul food?
My favorite is kalbisal.
Kalbisal! Oh, me too. Let's go. I have to discuss it. Thank you very much. And now, okay, let's see. The next keyword, all right, is about heritage. Okay, who is it?
I can take it.
Freddy?
When I
Okay.
was young, I wasn't that interested in my origin or my heritage. But when Olivia was born, I realized that it was the first time I had a biological connection to anyone. And that made me more interested in my heritage. And I am so glad and proud that Olivia is so interested in Korea and Korean culture.
Yes.
And our common heritage.
Oh, okay.
And actually, it's because of her interest in Korea that we applied to this gathering. So if it wasn't for her, I would have missed all this.
Oh, so you also want to continue this tradition after your daughter born?
Sorry?
Okay. So you want to continue this some story or tradition?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, I'm really positive about it, and of course I will support her in her interest.
Yeah. So, do you have any change in your perspective of life?
Yeah, that's kind of a long answer. It's kind of my story.
That's okay.
As a child, I felt that I needed to be flawless, so that no one could say, "You don't belong here." It was like I felt that I needed to earn my spot in the society, and that made me try harder with everything I was up to. And I did great in school, but I had such a pressure on myself, and all that pressure came only from me. At the university, I studied law and business and economics at the same time. It was 2 full-time programs at once, and I got a double degree, a Master of Law and a Bachelor in Business and Economics. And as I told you before, today I'm a judge. Being a judge is a way of serving the people and bringing them justice. And that is, of course, a big part of me and who I am today. But I have realized that life is so much more than hard work and success. And one thing that made me realize what life really was about, it was when Olivia was born. Academic merits, titles, and other achievement meant nothing compared to the joy and happiness that I felt when she was born. And this is a little sad part of my life, but and it's about the divorce from Olivia's mother. That was a tremendous bump on the road, and it hit me hard. And maybe it hit me harder because I'm adopted. I don't know. But anyway, I was not able to think that I could be loved for who I was, for just being me. It was first when I met Ida that I was proven the opposite. And that was the first time I felt unconditional love from somebody else than my adoptive parents. And now we have Ingrid, and this is like a new chapter in my book. So yeah, I have shifted focus in my life from hard competition and a fear to fail to more soft values and more focus on bonds to family and friends. And my message to you all is be kind to yourself, because not everybody are. And try to focus on what matters to you. and try to reach some kind of harmony in your life. If you do, I think your chances for success and good results are bigger.
Thank you for your message. Thank you very much. Yes, right. Unconditional love, a parent's love, or relationship is a very important point for us. So, all right, in the audience from the floor, what about you in the audience? Have you ever, if you have any experience or any stories about your unconditional love with your parents or love? If you have any stories, please raise your hand. Please share your stories. We will deliver the microphone. Yes. Yes. Now. Please raise your hand. All right. Amanda, Amy.
Sure. Yeah, sure. So I think maybe if anyone would like to share about their relationship with their adoptive family. I think all of us up here have had a really positive experience. I actually brought my mother here with me this time, but I know this is a very complicated question for a lot of adoptees because many adoptees have not had wonderful relationships with their adoptive family. If anyone would like to share about that or anyone here? No? Okay. Oh, there are people in the back actually.
Oh, you raise your hand? Okay, we will deliver the microphone. Wow, thank you very much. Please stand up. Please stand up.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So, we're talking about unconditional love? Yeah, it is indeed very complicated. As many of you know, growing up in the West, in my particular case, my parents, I was adopted when I was 6 months by very nice, very kind Dutch people who raised me as one of their own, with the very familiar phrase, "But you're one of us now." There is no racism. There is no, we are all colorblind. And so I was raised in a loving home, but in a broken world, basically. I would step outside the home and it would just be hostility all around. And then coming back home would be very difficult because I would want to share like what happened that day. And then, I was just met like, okay, but that doesn't exist in our world, so how can it happen in yours? And so that is kind of, that made it very difficult sometimes. And so even though, yes, you know, the love was unconditional, is still unconditional, but that extra dimension made it very difficult, and it made it hard to kind of share that part. And if you can't share that part, then you know it's just like this whole part that they could not be, that I could not share with them, and so that hurt quite a bit. And then the other part, which was kind of connected, is the guilt trip. So when I found my Korean parents, the first thing that came in their mind was like, oh, you're just gonna go to Korea and leave us? And so I had to right away clarify, look, you know, I love you to bits. It's all good between us. You know, you're my parents. You raised me, but I still wanna be in touch with my heritage too. And so from the beginning, when I was young, they always told me like, okay, you know what, you go ahead, search, do a birth search. It's all good with us and this and that. But when push came to shove, all of a sudden like, oh yeah, oh wow. So yeah, they kind of were afraid of losing me on one hand, and on the other, like, yeah, but weren't we good enough for you? And we put all the clothes on your back, and we gave you all the education and this and that. So that's kind of like, this trip, and I'm sure, I'm sure not everyone went through it, but many others would have, I can imagine, and so that made things very complicated. Now, sadly, my Dutch dad, he passed away. He was a self-made man. I respected him very much for it, and right before he passed away, I had to tell him again, like from my heart, but also because I didn't want any misunderstandings. So I had to reiterate, okay, you are my dad, and let there be no mistake. I am grateful for everything, but at the same time, that I am true to my heritage. I have to continue my search. I have to stay in touch with my family now that I've found them. And that will have no consequences whatsoever for our relationship, but you just have to understand and respect that. And in the end, they both did. And I'm happy that when we had to part, that there were no grudges between us. So in the end, what I'm trying to say is, like, you have to be very firm, and the unconditional love is there, but at the same time, if there are any misunderstandings that get in the way of that, you have to be very clear, and you have to put your foot down sometimes, and only that way everyone can move forward, and you can continue searching for whatever it is that you're searching for answers, for family, or both. So yeah, those are my 2 cents on that.
No, and I believe, thank you so much for sharing that. I believe many of us in this room can relate a lot to your story. I think growing up, being adopted in the 70s, our parents were pretty much told or advised to just assimilate us to their culture and kind of just erase the Koreanness, and that's what they did. And we weren't around other Asian Americans, especially Koreans, and we were just struggling and working hard to just fit in the community and make it. And so it is difficult when you do leave that bubble and you get out into the real world, and they see your Asian face. They don't see your whole experience as an adoptee. But that also made me think of my mom and I were walking around in Seoul, yesterday, and she was like, everyone keeps staring at me. And she's like, I think that that's probably how you felt, growing up in Oklahoma. And it's exactly how I felt. So I think it's important for adoptive parents to also go above and beyond to try to understand what it's, was like for us growing up without being able to voice how we feel. And that's something else she asked. She said, why didn't you tell me it was like this? But who are you going to tell? And how do you know how to express that when you're a child? So, yeah, so thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story, and thank you, Amanda. Right, by the way, I heard that there are very special people in the audience. They are, we're the people who met at a Korean adoption organization and even got married. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Okay. Oh, 2 couples? No? Okay, please raise your hand. Please let us know. Who are you? Okay. Please stand up, and ladies and gentlemen, please welcome them. Firstly, please introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Jenny, and I just want to share a little bit of my family story with my Korean family here in Asan.
Oh.
I met my father's side of the family in 2001, and it took me many years to come where I am now, where I have grown a very strong relationship with my father's sons, and actually they went to Denmark this summer for their whole vacation. They took all of their holidays for 1 year, and they used them in Denmark for just this summer vacation. It was really nice to see them. And my brother is actually coming here to Seoul today to meet up with us. So I hope very much that I'll be able to show him something here from OKF, and he can meet some of my fellow Danish adoptees from our group. But what I would say is that it's very difficult to meet your family and say, now you're family, just because you're a relative by blood. For me, it has taken a long time to find out whether I wanted to be a part of the Korean family, because it's really difficult to relate to someone when the language is, when you cannot connect with your family through language. So every time I was with my Korean father, I just needed to, I don't know what's, I just need to be close to him, and he would just hold me and say a lot of words in Korean that I did not know. So for me, I just want to say the language barrier is very difficult. So I have gained a really tight connection with my one brother because he does speak a little bit of English. So in that way, I think language is very, very important. And we often find it very difficult to speak Korean when we have been adopted abroad. I also found out that it's very difficult for some Korean to speak English as well. So yeah, the language barrier is for me the most difficult things. And I also want to say that my father's wife helped me to locate my biological mother in 2018. And that relationship have not developed that much yet. So it has only been 4 years. So I'm not, I don't think I'm related just by blood, I'm related through connections as well. So that's why I think the Korean adoptive society is more like my relatives, because we look alike, and I speak the language with them. So for me, that's more important, actually.
Oh, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you very much. Thank you once again. And also we have maybe Miss Osujin and Mr. Peter. Yes, they got married through this Korean adoption organization. Okay, so please welcome them again. Thank you very much. Please introduce yourself first.
Hi, I'm Sujin. I was adopted in Belgium, and I now live in the United Kingdom.
I'm Peter. I was adopted differently than most people. I was adopted in the United States by Korean people, and I now live in England.
And we met for the first time, we saw each other for the first time at the gathering in Oslo in 2001, but we never spoke at that time. It's only 3 years later at the gathering in Seoul that Peter jumped in front of me and said, I know you, you were in Oslo. I never kind of knew him. And, so who's that guy?
And we are very different, and I think being adoptees, you would expect we would have some similarities, but we are very different. Am I correct?
No, we're not different. We're total opposite. Total opposite.
Yes. We all have our own position. Thank you. Yes. Oh. Okay.
And I just wanted to say how important these gatherings are. So much of our past is dark, and we can't see clearly in the past of our mirror. But these gatherings, we can share the same experiences, and many of my friends are fellow adoptees because we have that shared experience. And my favorite friend is here.
Wow. You look great. Thank you for sharing your story. I sincerely hope you will be happier in the future through this event. Thank you very much. And actually, I heard many adopters feel the longing for their roots through their children and family. So, Amanda, could you tell us the story of people in association?
Sure. Yeah. So I, kind of similar to what Frederic talked about earlier, is later on in life, probably in my late 30s, is when I really started thinking about my identity and my culture as a Korean American, not really knowing what that meant. And I also had gone through a divorce, and I feel like many adoptees, something large and that a big change in their life is kind of what leads them to start thinking more about their identity. And I just wanted to engage more with Asian Americans, and that's what I started doing through work, and then moved to Atlanta, which has a very large Korean community, joined the Korean community, and then started up the Korean Adoptee Association of Georgia, and we all get together monthly or more to do activities and events, and I feel like this community is something I've been longing for a long time, and I'm very lucky to be among it now. But yeah, I think that's kind of the situation. I mean, everyone's situation's different, but usually, like Frederic, if you have a child, you start thinking about your background more. If you lose someone close to you, you start thinking about like really what is life, you know, the meaning of life, and then you realize, you know, you have this whole history that you're not really engaging with or you don't know, and so it kind of makes you, you know, long for that. And then I think that's also why people start reaching out to associations and organizations for adoptees, because it's kind of like we're all the same, and we kind of know and get each other without even really knowing everyone's stories. So, yeah.
Yes, right. It takes a lot of courage to find out root. Okay, it's time for next keyword. So let's see, the keyword is name. So, firstly, in the audience, do you have any Korean names? Do you have Korean names? All right, please say it. Myung-hyun? Okay, please use the microphone. Yeah.
Myung-hyuk.
Myung-hyuk.
Yeah.
Wow, it's difficult to pronounce.
Yes.
Yes, Myung-hyuk. As Korean, it's difficult, yes. Okay. And also, do you have Korean names? Korean names? Okay, please say it.
Youngjin. Youngjin.
Youngjun?
Youngjin.
Youngjun. Wow.
Jin.
All right, beautiful name. As you know, my name is Seonyoung. Seonyoung? Is there Seonyoung? Seonyoung? No? All right. So I hope all of you can get a beautiful Korean name in this event. Okay. So let's get back to the keyword name. Whose keyword? Name goes to maybe Maylin?
Yes. I decided to give my son a Korean name. So he has a Norwegian name and a Korean one. So the Korean one is Taehan.
Wow, your son.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute. His name is Taehan. Taehan.
Yes.
Is 대한민국 Taehan?
Yes.
Okay.
I was wondering what should I call him. You know, there are so many names in Korea. And, you know, I know that many of the Korean names are unisex names. And to me as a Norwegian, with my Norwegian ears, it's difficult to tell the difference between female names and male names. So I was discussing this a lot with my Korean friends. And they said, if you go for Daehan, that's 100% male name. So he will not be teased when he comes to Korea. So he goes by the Korean name. I'm working in Daewoo Shipbuilding. So I only have Korean co-workers in Oslo, and they tell him Taehan, and they are spoiling him so much. They are trying to Koreanize him. So when it was the Children's Day in May, my boss went out. He got this big chocolate, 2 kilos, and said, in Korea when it's Children's Day, the children get presents. So he got this for my kid. And also whenever it's his birthday, Christmas, my boss is always,
Yes.
And he also, you know, we go out for dinner sometimes. And Taehan is crazy about sushi. It's his favorite food.
Yes.
And we went to a quite posh restaurant. And my boss, he loves good food. He's a feinschmecker. And det han too, you know. So he ordered, finally he ended up eating 3 portions of sushi. So it was
so cute.
So he loved my boss.
Oh.
Actually now it's the ex-boss. He just moved back to head office in Korea. But I met him yesterday and he's the most nice man ever. The best boss I ever had, actually.
Okay. Actually, he is wearing the Korean traditional hanbok. Yes, dress hanbok. Yes. Oh, it was good.
So actually, this is the one on the picture. That's his second hanbok, because the first one he got from my friends in Korea. They sent him a hanbok when he was a baby. Now he got this one. This one is actually too small now, so I have to get him another one. But I think it's important to make him proud of his Korean roots and heritage from an early age. So I try to Koreanize him a little bit.
Yes.
Yes.
Korean name is very special. Yes, and it has very special meaning too. Thank you. And how do you feel when you find out the stories throughout like this organization after you find the family? So how about Meili?
How I found my Korean family?
Yes.
Yeah, I was taking a DNA test. I don't know if you've heard about 325 Camera. It's a non-profit organization devoted helping reunite Korean adoptees to find a birth family. So in 2017, they had this kind of free testing in Norway. So I really wanted to go, but at the same time, my mom, she had very serious cancer. She lived, now she passed away. So she lived in the western part of Norway. The test was in Oslo. And my mom, she turned 17 that weekend. So I was going to celebrate her birthday. It was the last birthday. But when she heard about the DNA testing, she said, no, you should go do the DNA testing.
Wow.
We can take the birthday next weekend. So my parents have always been very supportive of finding my roots if I want to do it. And so I took the test. I think it was in June.
Yes.
And then I didn't really think more about it until this spring, the next year. Then I got a message, and it was this woman. She told me, we have a very close family match to your, to a relative in Korea. Would you like us to search for your birth family? And I said, yes, of course. So it all started with my second cousin.
Yes.
He took a DNA test because of medical history. He was going to be a dad, so he wanted to check out his medical record. And then when his test was uploaded in this database, he had a match with a Korean adoptee in the States. So in order to then see if she was related to the father or the mother of him, the parents also tested. And then she was related to the father.
Yes.
But then when the mother's test result came, they were the close family match with me. So this woman, she has so much energy. So she started then looking around in the family. If she could find any traces. And then she had a cousin, and he had a daughter that looked very similar to me. So she asked him to take a test, and he agreed. I don't think she actually told him why he should take a test. But he tested anyway. And when the test result was ready, he came out as an uncle match to me. So then they just went to the next sibling, his younger brother, and he said, yeah, I can test, it's not me, so it's no worries. So he tested, and then he actually was my dad. So he said it was a very big shock to him. He was not aware that I was existing, but he welcomed me very nicely. The thing is, there are always disadvantages also. So he's very successful. He's a banker, and his wife is, they are used to having a very good facade, And so when this came out, she was not that happy, but I can understand it too. But he welcomed me really nicely, and also his cousin and the rest of the family. So yeah.
Yes, actually, in this photo, we can see Park Ji-hyun, maybe. Yes, it's yours.
Yeah, that's my Korean name, and my birth father said, "Why are you called Park?"
Yes,
because he's a Seoul. So he was very
Seoul? Yes,
yeah.
okay.
So he was a little bit surprised by this, but I think this name was given maybe by Holt, or maybe it was my birth mother when she relinquished me. I don't know, but the thing is, in the adoption file, the name of my birth parents, I think they are not really true, because my dad is then mentioned as a Park, and my mom, and he's a Seoul, so I'm not sure about that, how it is.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your story. And Ji-hyun is a very beautiful name in Korean. And how about Amanda? Could you say a few words about the birth family or parents?
Sure. So I grew up not really interested in finding my birth family, but getting involved in the Korean adoptee community. I guess it was when I turned 40, we had a dinner with some Korean officials, and they came and took some of us out to dinner, and they asked if we would be interested, and they gave me a form to fill out. It was formerly CAS, K-A-S, and now it's NCRC. So I kind of hesitated and sat on that for a while. My story is that I was born to a single mother who was uneducated and poor, and my birth father had left her, and so that is why she gave me up, which I felt for a long time that's a good story, because a lot of adoptee story files just say they were abandoned somewhere. So I was fine with that. I'm thinking she moved on with her life, and I'm not going to look for her. But I don't know what came over me. I decided to fill out the form and submit it. And then 3 months later, I received an email telling me that I have 5 older sisters, and my parents decided to give me up because at the time they had a lot of pressure to have a boy to take over the family business. And I was not a boy, and I guess kind of maybe my grandmother pressured them maybe as punishment for not having a boy, because in the 70s this was very important. And I've actually met a lot of other adoptees, including my sister, who have the same story. So that was a big experience for me, learning that, and then everything I thought for 40 years was completely wrong. But it's been a good experience since. I met my sisters, we talk to each other on Kakao Talk. I'm learning Korean slowly so I can communicate with them. So that is what led me to finding my birth family.
Oh, thank you. Actually, the process of finding our own roots is not easy, but many adopters are saying that it means a lot to them when they found their identity and the root. Thank you very much.
Can I just add something?
Okay.
Also, when I took this DNA test, I found my birth father, but I also found another relative, and he's sitting there on table 20.
Table 20.
And he grew up very close to me, like maybe 1 hour far away. But we didn't really find each other before, I think it was 2019.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before the last session, Setua is waiting for us. So now, once again, please welcome Setua's next song. Thank you very much for your sweet music, Satwa. Thank you. All right, with this sweet music, and now let's talk about the name again. So as I mentioned earlier, it's not easy to find our own roots. So sometimes there's even frustration after finding our roots, but that doesn't seem to stop us from finding our roots. So what do you think the motivation is? How about Sue?
Could you repeat that?
The motivation of finding your own route. What is your motivation?
I've felt like I've floated through life, not really tethered down by anything, discovering who I am and where I come from. Connecting with my roots affirms my existence as an adoptee and as a Korean person. So I would say that's my main motivation.
Thank you for your answer. How about Freddie?
Well, actually, I have never been that interested in finding my birth family, so I haven't even tried. And maybe it's because I know myself and how I would react if I tried but didn't succeed. But you can find your roots in other ways. Yeah.
Okay, so how about Melly?
I think it has been an instinct, maybe. You want to know where you come from somehow. I cannot really say why, but you just want to know your roots. I think it's what makes us human, maybe. So I think it's an instinct. So I tried KBS, MBC, YTN, Mail, this newspaper in Daegu, Goal, and all this search was quite emotional and so, and you get very mentally tired. It takes so much energy. So I have actually given it up. But still I knew by myself I had tried, so I will not regret I didn't try. But then this DNA test came up, so that's how I found my dad. So without the DNA test, I would never have had a chance to find him. He was not even aware I was existing. And he was like, he's only 18 years older than me, so he was quite young, when he had his romance.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And now, Amanda, could you wrap up our answers?
Sure. Well, I think with myself, I definitely relate to everyone up here. I also think it's a personal decision for every adoptee if they do want to research and find their birth family. But I think for me, you grow up and you're constantly asked the questions about who you are, where you came from, do you know your birth language, do you know your birth family, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we've all heard it. And I think now it's kind of nice at my age to be able to answer and actually have some answers to give people when they ask. So I think that that's a good thing. But again, it is different for every adoptee. And I also relate very much to Frederick that if you do go and try to find your birth family, it's not always going to be a positive experience. So you really do need to be in that place, I think, a good place to do that because it's hard. Even though I've had a positive experience with it, it's still a process.
Thank you for your answer. And actually, I think that for adoptees, community is very important, yes, for us. So how about Sue? Why is that?
It's very...
okay, Amanda. That's okay, that's okay. First, Amanda or Sue? Okay, Sue, thank you.
Being surrounded by a community of adoptees there's kind of nothing like it. I think that going through the journey of finding yourself as an adopted person, you need to have people who have that lived experience surrounding you and supporting you. I don't think non-adopted people fully understand the experiences we go through, and they're there to support us, but there's nothing like the support of other adoptees.
Okay, now it's time for you.
Sure. So I feel like during the pandemic that our community grew. I think it's also like in the United States, we dealt with a lot of anti-Asian hate, and that kind of drew our community together because our country is very divided politically, and a lot of racist stuff was highlighted in our country, and it was brought down, on Asians. People don't see us in the U.S. as being Korean. They see us as Chinese, Japanese, like any Asian. They think we're all the same. So I think that's why a lot of adoptees seeked out the adoptee community, because they wanted to know, how can I get through this? I'm very isolated. I can't talk about my feelings with my family, my friends. So our community has grown a lot within the last couple years. And I think it's just, like I said earlier, you just have this natural connection with other adoptees. And kind of like what Sue said, you seek that during times, especially difficult times like a global pandemic.
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, time flies. It's time to wrap up the talk concert. So last question is, could you say a few words for our audience? So how about Melly?
I think it's very generous of Korea, I guess the Korean government, to invite so many Korean adoptees to this event. Thank you very much. And I'm very thankful for getting this opportunity to attend this gathering. And I'm looking very much forward to the next days with you. And and if you want to search for your birth parents, do the DNA test.
Thank you. And Frederick?
I think it was so interesting to listen to all the other stories. And maybe it's too obvious to say, but don't forget that each and everyone in here has a fantastic and unique story of their own. And I hope that this session will be like a fire starter for many, many moments of sharing.
Thank you very much. Could you say a few words for today?
It's such an honor to share my experience as an adoptee with such a wonderful crowd. It's really been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And last, Amanda. She's my perfect partner. So thank you so much. And could you say a few words for today?
Sure. I just also want to thank everyone for this opportunity to be up here. And again, I just want to encourage Korean adoptees to find that community, the ones that are watching, on live stream. We are out there. There are lots of great events coming up. CON in the United States is a great organization to get involved in, as well as ICA, and they will be celebrating their gathering in July back here in Korea, 2023. So I definitely recommend joining, if you can, one of those organizations or a local one. It's really done a lot of great things for me. So.
Thank you very much. Today, thank you for sharing your stories. And did you have a good time, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much. Wow, thank you so much. And also, I would like to thank all of you, and especially our four distinguished guests, our special guests. So please give another big hand once again. Thank you very much. And all participants, I hope you make a very memorable and happy memory in Korea here during this event. And now we have the last song of Setua. So. All right, let's welcome Setua's last song with a big hand. Thank you, Setua. Thank you very much. And now with this song, this brings us to the end of this talk concert. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your participation and please enjoy this event until the end. 고맙습니다.